Good evening, everyone. I'm Adam, better known as Ozzy to many of you. I'm joint best man today with Simon's brother Mark. I've known Simon since high school, and growing up in the same neck of the woods, we got to know each other pretty well and have been good friends ever since. Nevertheless, we've always been very different in many ways. For example, when I found out I was doing today's best man speech, I panicked and started preparing about 6 months in advance. In contrast, when I spoke to Simon last weekend to tell him I was nearly there with it, his response was, "Honestly, you've done the speech a week before the wedding." I said, "Have you not started yours yet?" And he said, "As if, I'll just do it one night next week or something." I'd like to start with a few acknowledgements. Firstly, I'd like to thank Si and Annette for all the effort you've both put into making today happen. I'm sure everyone will agree what a great venue this is. They must have searched far and wide for this place. Basically, Si went to work one day and said, "This'll do." It's a good job he doesn't still work at KFC on Preston Docks. Thank you to the bridesmaids. You all look fantastic, even you, Michelle. Thank you to Preston North End for finally not losing to Newcastle today, even though it was just a friendly. And lastly, thank you to Simon's brother Mark for teaching me the true meaning of brotherly love. For example, during our younger years, our group of mates spent a lot of time at Simon's house and have lots of happy memories, such as playing table tennis in his garden, along with some not so happy memories, such as said table tennis games regularly being cut short by the return of brother Mark from work, who subsequently punched Simon and jerked us all out for no good reason. Maybe that's why Mark's been banished from doing today's speech. Hence, you stuck with me, and you'll be glad to know I'm under strict instruction to keep it brief. Before I go any further, I'd like to make a special mention to Andy Ashton for finding his way here today after getting stranded on the platform. I'd now like to provide a bit more background to my friendship with Simon and his education years. Following high school, myself and Simon attended Runshaw College together. This lasted about 2 weeks before Simon decided to quit in favour of a career as a receptionist at a Preston-based accounting firm. He never learnt to add up, but he got the world record score in solitaire. After a couple of months working there, Simon realised he wanted to avoid full-time work as long as possible. So he decided to have another stab at college, this time Newman College. It's a good job he did, because this is where he met the lovely Annette. Although, to touch upon what Simon said earlier, although when I say they met at college, what I actually mean is that Simon pulled Annette in a nightclub known as Millennium, which is a sweaty flea pit, it's tolerant of underage drinking. What a romantic. And this is all thanks to unlikely Cupid Lav, who introduced the couple. With me now being an academic year ahead of Simon due to his college escapades, I went to university in Liverpool, where Simon subsequently followed a year later. As ever with Simon, you can rest assured that this was a carefully thought out decision, based on the fact that he once came to stay with me and thought Liverpool was a mint night out. I've not been able to shake him off since. I'd now like to draw your attention to some of Simon's best attributes. Firstly, cost management. An excellent example of this was our 5-week trip to Australia in 2007. Having repeatedly reminded Simon about the need for careful management of his finances leading up to the trip, he dealt with the issue the only way he knows how, by telling me and himself, "Don't worry, it'll be reet." Needless to say, Simon's cash ran out on the second night of the trip, and as ever, it was Annette that bailed him out. Secondly, taking care of his personal possessions. A particular highlight of this trait for myself and Simon's other friends was one of those occasions where we were playing table tennis in his back garden, obviously prior to getting turfed out by Mark. Simon had complained about losing a favourite guitar plectrum a couple of days earlier. Suddenly Simon stopped playing mid-swing, looking to be in great discomfort. After rummaging around in the back of his boxer shorts, his face suddenly turned to a picture of shock and amazement as his hand emerged triumphantly holding the missing plectrum, having found it wedged firmly between his bum cheeks. Next up, football skills. Since a young age, Simon's been P&E's #1 fan, with matching P&E bed sheets and curtains at his parents' house until the age of 25. Thankfully, he was much better at being a fan than playing the game. I've never known anyone unlucky enough to dislocate a knee on 2 separate occasions for merely taking a shot on goal with no one else near him. And of course, he missed the target both times. Oh, nightmare. Finally, Simon's a great food lover and always been up for trying new things. The following example was kindly provided by Dad Steve and Brother Mark on the stag do. One night during early childhood when Simon and Mark shared a bunk bed, Mark heard the jangling of jewellery coming from the bottom bunk, followed by a clearly defined gulp. When Mark peered over the top bunk, he found Simon playing with a number of Mum Margaret's rings, put 2 and 2 together and shouted for help from his mum and dad. When Steve and Margaret arrived in the bedroom, flustered from sprinting up the stairs, they were met by young Simon saying, "What's wrong? I haven't swallowed a ring or anything." Needless to say, he had. Upon doctor's orders, Simon's family spent the next few days in the bathroom, making sure the ring successfully navigated its way through Simon's digestive system. Thankfully it did, and Annette, I'm sure you'll now be glad you know where Simon got your wedding ring. Regardless of the above, I'm sure everyone will agree that Simon's a top man. He's friends with anyone and everyone. He's extremely positive and throws himself headfirst into everything, even if that positivity is often just misplaced blind optimism. Now on to Annette. Insanely clever, good looking, witty and musically gifted. It's easy to think, what has this muppet got to offer in return? But I think what's always been evident in their relationship over the years is how good a friendship they have. Personally, I think that's the key ingredient into why they're such a good match. It's been an absolute pleasure knowing both Si and Annette. They're a great couple, they're very lucky to have each other. It's been an honour to be part of this occasion and I want to thank you both. So there's one thing left to do. If everyone could please join me in raising their glasses to Simon and Annette.